Welcome back, everybody, to the electronic age. I'm your host, Adrian Saya, and today we are here to talk with MadHappy. We got MadHappy in the building. What's up, my brother? What's been
What up? What up? Oh, I love the applause. Thank you, everybody. Please hold the applause. It's all good. What's going on, bro?
Chilling, man. Really happy we can finally get to this interview, man. I know we've been talking about it for some time. I've seen you live performing with Boogs. You know, a lot of the crew, Monica's crew out there.
Yeah, waves.
So tell me, man. I think a good place to start would be, who are you as a DJ, right? Where do you see yourself? If you were to describe yourself to the crowd, the audience, how would you say it?
First off, I mean, I don't really even see myself as a DJ.
Okay.
If I'm completely genuine with you, the reason I don't have myself marketed as DJ MadHappy is because I produce. I started originally as a pianist and I sing.
Wow.
So for me, my passion with DJing gives me the opportunity to present my music. And not only that, I just got this energy and I just love being on top of it. For me, it's like I remember when I was a little kid and I had my parents got me my first keyboard. And I learned how to play. You know, I didn't really learn how to read music very well, but I learned my chords, and then I would take these little beats that the keyboard had as an option, to be able to make songs live, and it would start adding beats, and I'd be producing songs there. I'm 6 years old, and I'm boom, bam, boom, boom, and my sister would be there chilling with me, and I'm this is cool.
Just getting it.
So MadHappy for me is a producer name. I haven't released much yet. I have an album that I am releasing at the end of the year that has been having a lot of work being put into it.
Nice.
So people will be able to experience a little bit more of what my sound is. I consider what I'm trying to do more of a journey through music and being a little bit of a genre breaker, if I'm honest with you, in the EDM world.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a couple things there.
Yeah.
So one is you want to be a genre breaker. So when you say that, is there a particular genre that you like to focus on? Because I know there's a lot of DJs who get a little, they might be considered dubstep, but they may have some wobble into it that's kind of got this wookish sound. Or they're really into techno, yet they create melodic techno,
Fair.
So is there a specific genre that you then like to stretch those boundaries, or are you just kind of dipping your toes into multiple puddles there?
Great question. This album, it's called Untitled Playlist.
Okay.
So the album specifically is meant to explore all the sounds of EDM. So I have everything when it comes down to house, to melodic house, to techno, into even dubstep for the album. Now I am planning, and we have other things in the works as well, but my sound specifically, especially when I DJ and when I like people to see me live performing, I consider myself more of a melodic house, Afro house DJ, which is where I really excel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now let's go back to the actual name, MadHappy. How did you come up with that? Why is it MadHappy to begin with?
I have a lot of energy. I've always been this way. I'm very I love people, and I'm laughing all the time. I'm extremely sarcastic. I love joking around. And especially when I'm playing music, which I love, I don't even notice anybody around. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine who he's a big time DJ, and he was telling me, he's like, man, it doesn't matter if you're playing in front of nobody, if you're playing in front of 1,000 people, you always play like it's the last show on earth. And for me, he said that to me, and it stood out to me, because the same way you see me behaving on a deck with all of you guys in front, I'm the same way all by myself in my room. I'm just what? This sounds awesome. I really get excited. I get these goosebumps. My spider senses start tingling, and I'm just really enjoying it, and I don't worry about what's going on around me. So a good friend of mine, she saw me one day, and she was like, oh, you got a lot of energy. You're really happy. You're MadHappy. And I'm like, I'm MadHappy. Yeah, I'm mad. And I was like, you know what, this might be good.
I love that.
Let's just stick to it, yeah. So that was it.
So it's stuck.
Yeah, that was it. And people seem to like it. I feel like it fits the mold. So
all right,
here we are.
So you mentioned your beginnings of production really started when you were a kid, playing a lot of different instruments, specifically piano. Did you want to get into piano naturally, or was that kind of a guided route?
You know what? I don't remember.
Okay.
So the thing is that since I was a kid, my grandfather used to play guitar, and I'm talking about like way before any of that. And my dad was in a group in Venezuela, where he played el cuatro. My mom used to sing in the group as well.
Wow.
And my dad's Puerto Rican. He's not even Venezuelan. and I feel like my whole life I've just been very influenced by that, and not just my father and my grandfather and my mother, but I have a very big family, and my cousin, who he's also a producer. So I grew up with him, and he went to school for it. He's a producer in LA right now. He does amazing stuff. And growing up my whole life, mind you, he's like 10 years older than me. I've always, followed him. He's been more like an older brother to me than a cousin. And I just feel like music's always been just involved in my life. So to answer that question, it's hard. I don't know if the piano came in because of my parents or because I was always just super into music. I feel like it's because I was always super into music, but I can't remember if I'm honest
All
with you.
right.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you had a lot of musical influence already surrounding you.
Yeah, definitely.
And that kind of led to where, you slowly adapted to it and let it be a part of what you do now.
I was actually scared of it for a long time, if I'm honest with you.
Why is that?
I wasn't really proud of it. It was more just like I can play piano. And I played at hotels and I played at beautiful places. And I play gorgeously. I love the way I play and I love to sing, but it was always kind of like I don't really need to share this with the world. I need to focus on paying the bills and being able to afford a normal life, because who really cares? And my mindset was I don't think it was correct. I think I was wrong for thinking that.
So I'm sure there are tons of listeners out there that are probably going through the same thing, right? They know that they have this passion maybe for music, that this affinity towards it, yet they're afraid to pursue it because, like you said, doesn't always pay the bills. You got a lot of societal pressure coming from a lot of ways saying you got to do different things. What did you do to kind of get over this, and what can other people do to do the same?
To be completely sincere with you, it took a lot of pain. It took a lot of realizing that tomorrow isn't promised. It took a lot of losing things that I thought I loved, and mostly material when you put it in perspective, and then really understanding what it is to have not only the people that you love around you and support you no matter what you want, but really loving you. And I mean that in a way where there's a part to us that is dark and that we don't always want to accept about ourselves, and we have to explore that of ourselves to really be able to overcome what it is that is stopping us from being better. Because I feel like a lot of us, we get caught, and I'm speaking for myself here actually, but we get caught up in this isn't going to afford my bills, this isn't going to take care of my family, this isn't going to support my girl or my mom or my dog or whatever the case may be, or me. I'm too stressed out because I'm not making enough to be able to afford my bills. I don't have time for music. I don't have time to do what I love. Forget music. I don't have time to do what I love. And I don't have time to express that to people because nobody's going to really care, because I have to take care of society. But when you really dig deep into it, I'm not saying that those things aren't important, because, we do have responsibility. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, as I like to say. But we got to feed our souls, man. And we don't need people to approve of us to be able to be that.
So it sounds to me like you understood, you went through this pain, right? These tribulations of, oh shit, I'm losing a lot of the things I thought I cared about were all material, to then realize what your core value was and be like, wait, I should pursue music still and get over this hump. Fuck what anyone thinks.
No.
Let me do it.
Yeah.
But you did end up coming away with basically fending for yourself when it came to finances, right? You mentioned that before this interview that you actually were able to start a business. Can you tell me more about that? How did that happen?
So yeah, when I was 20, this is 10 years ago now, I'm 30, and I met up with one of my best friends now, who became my business partner, and he had a cigar business. And he was doing consignment programs on hotels, resorts, and casino throughout all of Miami. And I hopped in and I go, look, I don't have any money, but I don't want to work for anybody. I have a drive and I'm willing to work. And he was like, all right, well, I can't pay you right now because I'm trying to make it happen here. And him and I ended up getting to the point where we were doing, SLS, Satai, St. Regis, all the way down to Bimini in the Bahamas. And then when we finally ended up getting one of our biggest contracts, the MGM in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah, we were supplying them with cigars, and then I was specifically in charge. I mean, I was the director of operations for a while before I became his business partner. But then I came in and I started bringing in the hookah programs, and that was very big. We were doing very good. It took a lot of work. I mean, there was times when we weren't making any money, and then there was times where we were making a lot of money, and then COVID hit. And that's why I say all the things I'm saying about losing stuff. COVID hit, and I had no way to do anything. The hotels started shutting down. Properties started becoming non-smoking properties. Contracts started getting cut.
Damn.
And literally from one day to the next, 7 years of putting in a lot of work, starting from ground zero, you just lose it all.
Wow.
So right now I'm getting the chance to rebuild that, but I'm also at the very beginning of it again. But the beauty is now that within that time frame of COVID, it gave me the chance to really explore what I love again. And that's where I'm like, you know what, let's do this. So yeah, I have my business again. It's going good. We're doing our thing, but even more important, I'm happier than MadHappy, because I'm doing what I really love.
Got it.
Which is the music.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to really focus on working the crowd, because I've seen you DJ, man. You got a big smile on your face, and you're getting down, and I can see the energy.
Yeah.
The energy gets brought out of you when you're actually DJing.
Yeah.
So at what point did you realize that you were fine performing in front of a crowd? Like, you were going to bring this from a production, because, producers tend to be more on the introverted side, just producing, and then taking it out to the crowd is a whole nother another story. So at what point did you find that comfort?
You know what it is? It's that my whole life I've always been good at standing in front of crowds.
Okay.
And it's not because I'm good at it. I just have this thing where if I'm scared of something, I challenge myself to do it. Like I've done staff educations with cigars, and I was, 20, 21 years old with directors of regional whatever for the St. Regis and these huge properties, and there's 250 people in front of me, and I'm this little kid in a suit that barely fits me. Like, I'm still too skinny to fit into the suit properly, and I'm teaching these people how to pair a cigar and a scotch, a single malt scotch. So like I feel like I've always just kind of like I've had that courage in myself of trying to overcome that fear. So when I'm playing music and I'm doing that, like, not to say I don't get nervous, because it does happen before a show, but for me, it's like I want to challenge myself enough to really like give that out. And again, like what I said, it's like if there's 10 people there or 1,000 people there and nobody there, I think of it like that. I'm like, I'm not even performing for anybody. I'm here doing what I love. And it helps me erase everything of what's going on in front of me to worry about how I play or anything. It's just like, I'm doing this because I really love it.
That's great.
Is that a good answer?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's your answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so I've noticed that you mentioned you're cool with being in front of crowds. Right? You can speak and you feel comfortable, because it's scary at the same time. It is. So being an entrepreneur, I think, encompasses a lot of those elements. Right? You got to tackle what you're afraid of. How has that made you a better DJ?
Oh, that's a great question. I've been doing this technically for 8 months. I'm new here. and I say it to Boogs all the time. I'm like, bro, I'm a newbie. And he's like, dude, I'm a newbie. And I'm like, dude, I look up to you. Are you kidding me? Like, you're big. I have a lot of other friends too and I'm like, dude. And I feel like what's helped me accomplish a lot of the success that I have now, as far as where I am with DJing and understanding how fast I've been able to grow, because I really have been growing pretty quickly. And I've had this conversation with multiple people, and in my personal opinion, I feel like it's because I have understood, when it comes down to that entrepreneurial side, what it is to go in there with no promises and just put your foot through the door and then follow up and be on top of sales, you know,
Right.
and be consistent, be able to make your product presentable so that people, you know, will be intrigued by you. And then not only that, but being consistent with it, because, you know, it could be 4 months you're dry and then out of nowhere you get one big hit, but you start getting that momentum. It's a snowball effect. It starts happening, and that's what's been going on. It's a snowball effect. So how I see the entrepreneurial side affecting this is in the same sense. I mean, MadHappy is a brand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's what I do as a producer, but at the same time, it's what people see, and there's a way that I need to present that to people so I can be able to grow that brand.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I think that really puts things into perspective for anyone listening out there, that it's more than just DJing.
Mm-hmm.
You're a brand. You need to operate like a business.
Yes, correct.
Essentially.
Exactly. That is exactly right.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your next ambitions and goals when it comes to developing the brand of MadHappy?
Well, right now the album is a huge priority. It's a nonstop project. I have a good amount of artists that are working on it with me, and, you know, just making sure all that's getting put into place. Within that, I'm trying to make sure that my sound is focused towards like Afro melodic. So the gigs that I play, I'm turning down people now at this point where it's like, no, I don't want to play tech house. Like, I want to be able to be focused on this is what my look is, because I don't want to burn my brand out or make people think that I'm just out here just trying to be a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this and I say it all the time, and I mean it more than anything. I live today. I live so present. Yes, I have a plan and what I'm trying to do, but the future is so far promised from being promised, and past has already happened. For me, this journey is so much more valuable. So it's not even how much money I can make. I'm not doing this for money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this because I really love it. So, you know, the more that I just continue to do that every single day, I feel like it'll naturally carve its path. You know, long term, honestly speaking, I don't even want to be in Miami.
Really?
Yeah,
Shocking.
I'm thinking to get, no, and I'm not even thinking about like US. I'm thinking like I want to go to Thailand and I want to go help elephant sanctuaries. And I want to go get gigs DJing out there and play for people. And then during the day, I'm going to go help elephants. I don't know if I sound, but I really like, I want to just explore the world. Like, music is going to be everywhere for me all the time. I don't need it to be famous. I don't need to be the most popular thing in the world. And the people who love what I do is because they feel what I feel. The passion that I put into what I do, it's meant to inspire people as well, because I'm putting my heart into it. I'm putting my pain into it as well. And it's almost like a diary, you know, like you make a song and like I'm putting my emotion into it.
Mm-hmm.
And some people might be like, oh, this sucks, you know, and that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. For me, it meant something.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another person that comes along and they go, wow.
That's
like,
amazing.
That really hit me. And that's amazing too, you know, so yeah.
All right. Okay. So I see the overarching goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that really you're really focusing on this self-fulfillment aspect.
Yeah.
For the brand and sticking to the true of MadHappy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you added it up, bro. I don't know if you added it up. That's basically what's happening.
No, you got that's very good. You got value there. Yes. Just added value to the brand.
Yeah.
There you go. I love it.
So you're sticking true to it, which I respect.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good because when I interview a lot of DJs, a lot of them tell me, oh, you know, I want to play at these big shows. I want to play at a festival, you know, and increase the brand awareness. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people forget that besides being a DJ, you're still a person. You still got to have those aspects of fulfillment there. So when it comes to relationships, how do you feel being able to balance all these things has worked out for building those? Do you think it's kind of worked against it or worked for it?
Relationships as in a whole, or like romantically?
Let's go with as a whole, and then we can shift it maybe into romantically after.
Life is all about balance.
Uh-huh.
Life is all about balance. I mean, I was texting one of my good friends who he owns a pretty big brand, and he's talking to me about bookings for, you know, up to March of next year that he has me booked and all this stuff. And I go, that's great, but I only want to book these dates because for me, I need to take time for my family. I need to take time for myself. I wake up early. I talk about it all the time. I'm a big supporter of, being like consistent with your things. I get up early in the morning and I make my bed. It's the first thing I do. Then I take my dog out, and then I'll go to the park, and then I'll chill out, and then I'll take care of my business, and I'll handle my things, and I'll watch a movie. And I take time for me. And then after that, I'll spend time in a studio. And, bills are getting paid, things are getting taken care of, and I'm consistent with it, but I'm not, like, overwhelming myself with where I'm going to get. It's like I said, like, the thing is that, like, there's an ego that gets put into place with music a lot of the time, and it takes over us. And then it's like, look at how great I am. Look at what I can do. Look, like, pay attention to me. And I feel like music isn't about your ego. Music is about culture.
And do you think that ego kind of gets in the ways of building better relationships with others?
Yeah, it can stop the relationship building. It can stop you from being able to have balance in your life, because it's just I don't want to get too far into that, but
now I've also heard the opposite, where it's those with a strong ego are the ones who are able to push forward and get what they want. I mean, because of their strong egos and their ability to just not give in to anything else unless it meets their need. Right.
That's a different stuff. Like, so my version of what I was talking about with ego was specifically when it comes down to how you pour into your music. Egos balance. The egos are naturally meant to protect us. We need to have an ego to be able to move forward in the things that we have. So like my ego, I'm proud of MadHappy. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna get in the way of that. And you're right. To answer your question a little bit better, being able to like focus on the people that need to be in my life, like the surround yourself by the conditions you want to produce type of thing. So those relationships are the ones I focus on. I won't put myself into people that I feel like are going to take me away from being able to have that balance in my goal, and then within my relationship of whether it's somebody I'm building my brand through, that I'm building the business with, or if it's with my family, being able to balance those two out. I got thrown off with the relationship question because I'm thinking automatically about my family when you say that, and to me that's more important than any of it.
I see.
So that's
if
why
I
like
may, I think the balance point is perfect because ego is in need of being treated the same way. I think the mistake people make about ego is that it's either good or bad. It's something to be controlled.
Right.
It is you. It is a part of you. So it's forever going to be, if you want any confidence, you need your ego. But you can't let it run rampant on everyone else.
Correct.
It's a valid point. And also anyone who says, oh, you got to kill the ego, I always think that's such bullshit, because then you get left with nothing.
That's called death.
Yeah, you get left with nothing.
That's what I said. We need it. It's right.
You need it.
I think that's so we're both right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's 100% right, man. 1,000%.
So you mentioned family, right? Yeah. Now, hearing a lot of your goals and managing your business, DJing, and travel. How do you make time for family and cultivating that relationship? Because it's usually the one thing that could easily take the back seat when you're doing so much.
Yeah. No, it is difficult. It is difficult. I mean, just this weekend alone, Saturday night, I had like thrown a little get together with my cousins. I have a very big family. Like it's like my best friends are my cousins, and 3 of us specifically are the same age.
Wow.
Yeah. So we grew up together, and we all dumb have fun together. You know what I mean? And nothing. I invited all of them over to my house. I even had friends of mine that they've been in the military that I haven't seen them in forever, and they came out too. We all grew up together, and just a little pool thing at the house and grilling, chilling, have a couple of beers, and then I got a phone call at 10 o'clock at night from Proyecto Tulum. And they go, we want you, and we need you now. From midnight to 3. And I go, I'm getting booked. This is a great opportunity, and I don't really get to spend this much time with my, and I talked, I sat down with them. I go, guys, this is something I need to do because it's going to help my brand. And one of the beautiful things that is great is that they support me. And they even, I'll tell you about that in a second, but they were like, go get it. So they helped me pack up. They helped me get ready, and I drove all the way down to Miami.
Booked it. Yeah.
Booked it. Went there, and I killed that set.
Mm-hmm.
They have me booked again this Friday. That's Friday. Yeah, they were so happy with me. It was totally worth it. I needed to do that. But you know, they have regular schedules, so for them, like they don't want to go out and go hang out in a nightclub so they like to stay at home and chill, and I respect that 100%. But I'm over here doing what I do, and I came back home early in the morning, and they had taken the bottle that they had all drank. It was a bottle of Bacardi, and they all signed the bottle saying positive things like, "Hey, you got this. Go and get it. Like, we believe in you.
Dope. That's real.
You got this." Yeah. So yeah, you know, like, but it is difficult, you know, to take time for it. I don't know if I have the answer, because I'm trying every day to figure out how I can be able to balance it all out. But I definitely do take the time. You know, if I get the chance and it's like, hey, you know what, I'm just sitting around in my house doing nothing. Let me go say what's up to mom real quick and just pass by for a couple seconds. Or my parents live up in West Broward, so if I'm like, you know, by some chance up in Fort Lauderdale, I get a chance to swing by. I just, hey, how are you guys doing? You know, show a little bit of love. I think it goes a long way. Yeah.
All right, definitely. And I see what you're saying there, that you just gotta show anytime that you can, and go see them when you can, you know, make that moment for yourself. And also the fact that they support you is already just a massive weight off your shoulders, because they're gonna be there.
Yeah,
you know. And
it wasn't always like that. When I first started doing this, they were like, "What's wrong with you? You're
really?"
Crazy. Yeah, they're like, "You're crazy, bro."
So how'd you get over that hump? Because from what you're telling me, I'm already picturing the traditional Hispanic parents
that
are like, "You're not a doctor, lawyer." You know what I'm saying? You're not a doctor, lawyer, or an accountant.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I've been hearing that my whole life, especially doing this entrepreneur thing. You know what I mean? So I've definitely had to deal with that for a long time. And to be completely honest with you, when I'm building, I kind of like cut out the noise, and I'm like, you don't,
blinders.
You don't, yeah, exactly. You don't understand what I'm doing, and once I'm there, you'll get it. So that's really how I kind of like keep focused. But the whole process of it, I mean, everybody's like, come on, why don't you just go get a regular job? Why don't you just go, you know, I'm like, yeah, well, you don't know what I'm working on. And when I get there, they're all like, wow, this is incredible. But they don't realize it took me, you know, 2 years of them, you know. And not to say they don't support me. They say what they say because they love me. But, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. So, you know, once you get there, then they're like, oh, wow, this is actually pretty great. You know, so that's also where, you know, I feel like it comes down at that point specifically.
So was there ever a moment where you felt like you should give in to that temptation of your family going in your ear, basically saying, just stop, just quit?
Oh, yeah. All the freaking time. I did stop multiple times. There was one point where I got a job doing structured settlements. I was very good at it too. But I wasn't happy, and I backed out after a while. And then I got a job at BMW, and I was doing great with car sales. And then I'm like, I don't have time for my life. So I backed out of that. And, you know, again, like when those moments happened, it was like wishy-washy, not consistent with work and all that. But like, it might seem like I might have quit those things, but in my opinion, what was really happening is I wasn't quitting what I loved. And I don't think I'm a quitter because I'm always chasing after what I love. So
you never really quit. All you did was make time for what really mattered to you.
Exactly. And then not just that, but like it helped me put myself in better financial positions to go after what I loved.
I see.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
You got to sacrifice. And there was times when I remember I had my business running, and I needed to figure out this is, you know, 6 years ago, whatever. And I had to figure out how I was going to be able to support my family and be able to still build my company without letting it go, because there was a lot of promise there in what I was doing. And I had to get a job as a valet, and I was making like $6. I remember I got a $135 paycheck for working for like 2 weeks. And I was sweating, running, everything, like barely getting sleep. And then I was doing my business at the same time. I got another job it was like 3 things I was doing. And it was a lot, but I was like I'm not stopping what I love just because of money. I'm not going to give up on this. And guess what ended up happening? It blew the fuck up. I made a lot of money, And I ended up getting employees, and I ended up being able to I got an apartment in freaking Colombia. We ended up getting a place in Vegas. And it was like from one day to the next for everybody. But for me, it was like, dude, I had the freaking sweat for this shit.
Damn.
But it happened.
Mm-hmm.
You can't give up.
Yeah. Yeah. That shows the determination right there. So this is a lot to balance, right? Now, when it came to those romantic relationships we talked about, there's another need I feel like needs to be met in every person's life. How do you make time for that, even as a DJ, but also as an entrepreneur?
I think space is important.
Okay. Like club space or
Club.
He'll be here all week, folks.
Oh, you got me there. That was a good one. That was good.
He didn't mean it.
No, space between two people. Like taking a step back and talking again about like finding yourself, and people put it simple, love yourself. You have to learn how to love you. And like you can't care about somebody else if you don't love yourself, because then you're just kind of like feeding into other people's egos and just trying to put somebody on a pedestal and do all this stuff that you don't really need. In the end of the day, like in my opinion, when you're romantically in a relationship with somebody, you're supposed to grow together. We're both going through this walk of life that really is not easy. And every day can be great or it can really suck. And that person's doing it on their own as well. I think it's more about supporting each other in that growth individually. You know, your partner, for me, she needs to be able to have her own 2 feet established in the ground. And I can support her to get to that point or to grow further past that. And then I would hope that would happen back. But you can't expect it out of anybody. You got to just do it on your own as well. Like, she's got to be doing her thing. I got to be doing my thing. Because I feel like we can't, like, how do I put this? We die alone. You know, and I'm not saying that you can't be with somebody forever. But you do have to know who you are enough to be able to support somebody else, so emotionally and financially.
I see what you're saying here, that you really just got to be confident in yourself, love yourself, and in that way you can definitely make room for that relationship and let it flourish. In the music world, I think one of the easiest things that can happen is actually losing yourself. I've seen it happen to plenty of artists where they come in extremely unique and then are molded by the industry and those around them to be someone different. How do you think people can like guard themselves from that happening and just really be happy in themselves?
I don't think I've dove deep enough into the industry to really understand that, because from things that I've heard, there's you get signed into a record label and then you got to be that for them, and you're signed, like you got to represent that. And now it's becoming work. And work is different than being passionate sometimes. So I don't know if I really have the answer for that one yet, because I haven't experienced it. I'm so still just free me, and I really plan to maintain it that way. So I don't think I really have the answer for anybody to how to overcome it. Maybe what I could say is be wise in where you put your brand and where you put yourself, and make sure it's something that really is going to help you be who you want to be. Because if people don't have the best interest for you, and not everybody does, especially when it comes down to money. Yeah,
big time.
You know, they're not gonna care about what you think or feel. And
So let's go into DJing a bit more. When it comes to playing for a crowd, you know, you've established yourself with some big venues here in Miami, Proyecto Tulum being one of them. They saw what you've done in the past, then you've been on lineups, worked the crowd, your ability to just make that crowd move to the way you want it. How do you envision yourself making that happen in the first place, right? Why does that occur, do you think? Is it because of the tracks? Is it because of your energy? What do you think it is?
It's definitely the way. It's all of it.
Okay.
All together.
That brand.
Yeah. No, I could talk to you about building up a song. Like when you're doing a transition from one track to another, there's these breakdowns. And those breakdowns are very valuable. That's where you like really get people's attention. They're either gonna get really bored or they're gonna feel the tension building up. And I'll wait until the last like 16 bars to just like have them looping, and then I'll have like another track, and I'll just kind of start playing around with that track in the middle of it, and then bring in some effects. And it's like it's 16 bars, and it should have dropped like maybe like 40 seconds ago. But like everybody's like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, why aren't we there yet? What's happening? What is it? And then out of nowhere, you're like, boop, 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 and then everything gets quiet. And everybody's like, what the heck? Why is it silent now? The beat still hasn't fucking dropped. Like, give it to me already. And then right there, boom. And everybody's back in there. And then you're just, whoa, like you're just dancing around. Everybody's jumping up and down. I love doing that, building that tension. And I think that's, for me, when it comes to DJing, that's one of the things that gets the crowd really moving, is having people like feel like they're getting into the song. It really is like, whoa, like holy crap. You know?
Love that.
Yeah.
I think a DJ can build suspense better than arguably any other type of artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like film creators.
Yeah.
Like, I'm comparing you to The Sixth Sense by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, wow, I'm honored.
It's truth, though.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's true. I agree. Absolutely.
It's a tension you can feel, and you almost feel like you want to cut it with a knife. Like,
Yeah.
that's how like intense.
Good way to put it.
You know, and then all of a sudden, boom, it blows up, and it doesn't make you get in a way. It makes you get overly emotional. It makes you want to dance.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like,
just
I
wanna
need to
move.
let
You're
this
like,
shit
whoa.
out. I've been building
Yeah,
it.
like, holy crap.
Holy crap!
This
I got to
is
do
really
something.
good.
What do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
Like, you know?
What are these things?
So it's very true, man. So do you think Proyecto Tulum saw this and that's why they gave you the call back?
Yeah. I have people come up to me all the time after my sets, and they're just like, your energy is contagious. Your energy, and it's, again, like I'm pretending like nobody's there. I'm in there, and I'm like, whoa, like if you've seen me DJ, you see how I start jumping up and down, and I'm just like, yeah. I'm really having fun. I'm not just doing it because I'm like trying to get attention. But other people see that, and they're like, whoa, this guy's having a lot of fun. So I feel like that's, yeah, plus MadHappy, it makes sense. Like, this guy's really freaking happy. Something's wrong with him. Lead by example. Like, what's going on with him? He took too many Red Bulls. No, that's just the way I am. But yeah, like people, I feel like they definitely feel that energy off me, and that's what is helping my brand really grow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And when it comes to drinking, do you feel like you drink before a set, or is that energy fueled by alcohol, or is it just coming straiut out of like?
That's a great question. Seriously, that's a really good question, because that's one of the things I talk about with everything in this scene. Without getting into specifics, it's just like there's a balance to everything when it comes to that too. You can get lost in the sauce.
Definitely.
You get wound up and I talked about this in my last podcast. What are you here for? Are you here for the party, or are you here for the music? And that's gonna really separate, who you are in this industry. Me personally, I'm here for the music. So yeah, I'll have a couple drinks, but I'll never get to the point where I'm like blackout, or sometimes I don't drink at all, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll have just one beer. But I'm trying to be very conscious personally about how it is that I evolve that, because I'm not out here just trying to get drunk. I can go do that at my parents' house. You know what I mean? I'm out here because I really want to do music. It was funny because I was talking to my sister about this actually like 2 days ago, and she's like, how many drinks did you have when you were DJing the other night? And I'm like, I actually sat back and I counted. I'm like, I had 3 tequila sodas within a matter of 5 hours. So I mean, I'm not saying for some people that'll freaking last them forever, but for me, like, I'm like, I had a nice little buzz. Yeah, I had a nice little buzz. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. And that was it, I wasn't thinking about the alcohol while I'm DJing. I'm thinking about the next track I got to pick out and how can I really do all the things I just talked about, But to answer the question for anybody, balance. Really understanding balance, understanding yourself, and being conscious about it. Same way you want to go to the freaking gym, like you want to have, like I take time for the gym. I take time for that in my daily life. I take time to wake up early in the morning and make my bed first thing. And it's the same thing when you go into this world that we're in. Like, what are you here for? You're here to just get like super freaking wasted, or are you here to, do what you're doing?
Amazing.
I sense a theme developing. Balance.
Balance.
A lot of balance.
That's great. I see it too. You're right. Very important.
The key to being mad happy.
The key
There
to
you go.
being mad happy.
You got balance.
I like that. Yeah.
Yo, we got a title for the episode. Let's
There
go.
we go. I like it.
So, we're coming up close here to our time. So I want to know, is there anything you'd like to tell the crowd?
Man, first off, if there's something that you really love, I know it's scary to think like I can't get this because of, or people won't support me, or people won't feel the same way about me or love me the same, or whatever you could think of, all those negative thoughts. Put that to the side. And even if you feel like you're not talented enough or you can't do it because you haven't put in the time to, start putting in that time. Start being passionate about it. Your heart is more important to take time for. And if it's something that really fills that empty space that sometimes feels like can't be filled, then do it. And who cares? You know what I mean? Just go out there, love it, and be you doing it the whole time. Don't be scared of you.
All right. I like that, man. Just stick to the core values, that you need. Now, I see here that you're wearing a cross, with your necklace. Has that influenced your values going forward with the things you've done?
My whole life. I'm Christian. I don't consider myself religious. I see myself more spiritual. But I do feel like it's helped me to have good morals in life. Not to say I haven't messed up. I've definitely, I'm far from perfect everywhere in between. I get angry too. I get sad too. I get in my little funks too. But I feel like it's also helped me to understand how to be as open and sincere as I have been about life. And then not only that, but not be scared of what people may think of me outside of that. So I wear it proudly. This actually came from Thailand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A friend of mine brought it over for me. And then, I got my tattoos here, forgiveness and faith. I wear them on my sleeves.
So you use that as a compass.
Yeah, moral compass.
Amazing.
Definitely. Yeah.
Amazing. It's a great thing to live by. A lot of people don't even got any type of moral values. So it's good to actually have something that'll guide you in what you will always know will be your right way.
Yeah.
So
Agreed. 1,000%.
it's great to hear. Now, when the people want to find you, what is the best way that they can reach out to you? Is there an Instagram handle you have?
Yeah.
What is it?
Instagram is MadHappy2K.
Okay.
I do have a SoundCloud. I have Spotify. I have everything up. I'm still, like I said, in the process of releasing my album, so you're going to be seeing a lot more things building up now with time that are already being put into the works. So the brand will be a lot more public soon, but right now we're in building mode, so we're taking our time. But yeah, you can find me on SoundCloud again. Where was it that I was going to mention? No, that's everything. Yeah.
MadHappy 2K.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you about that. Why 2K?
Okay, so there is actually a brand called MadHappy,
Really?
and I freaking love them, and they're amazing, and I want to work with them. So the 2K for me is more just like that. I'm that 2000, I'm the
So you want to work with them by one-upping them?
no. No, I want to work with them.
I'm sorry, the joke was there.
I want to work with them by.
Did you know about them before you chose the
No,
name?
I didn't know them.
You found them by
found
doing
them
your SEO research.
Correct. People came up to me after and they're like, and it's usually Northeasterners, and they're like, "Oh, MadHappy's your clothing brand?" And I'm like, no. And they're big. They're big. So I do plan on, and I want to. I hope that we can collaborate. I have some really cool ideas of things that I'd love to do with them down the line. But yeah, MadHappy 2K is that.
Nice. Shout out MadHappy.
Shout
out to MadHappy.
Yeah.
Well, my man, this has been an incredible
Yeah.
interview. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming in here and telling us your story. It has been incredible to hear.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. And thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for reaching out to me, man. It means a lot to me for you guys to take time out of your days for me. I'm honored it's really just, this is so cool. It's nice to be able to share, you know, yourself and people have interested too, you know.
Yeah.
And give it to the world and see, you know, how it inspires others.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you here. So thank you for doing this interview.
Yeah.
And for all of you out there listening, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to catch The Electronic Age. Follow us on Instagram at The Electronic Age. And, of course, we will catch you all on the next one. Peace out.
I don't think you have the in Electronic Age on your handle.
Fuck. Make sure to catch us at The Electronic Age at Electronic Age.
Oh, go ahead. I actually reslit it because you can edit that in.
Yeah, exactly. So let me
Or we'll leave all of this. That's also fun.
That's all.
That's how I like to do my podcasts. Less editing, more realism.
At Electronic Age Pod. Make sure to follow us at Electronic Age Pod. You'll catch us on Instagram and YouTube, and we will see you all on the next one.
Let's go.
Peace out.